All right, now this is version 3 of the stick, so you can see that there's black screws now which go onto the black bottom panel, which we have removed, and there we have it, the entire stick wide open. Lots of space to work with here. You can see the whole thing opens up. So Cynic, let's go ahead and show them why this stick is different from other sticks. Most sticks cannot support Sanwa sticks being swapped in for Korean sticks, and this stick can, and why is that?
Well, okay, as you can see, the mounting area is a universal mounting area where you can easily swap a Japanese stick and, you know, a Korean stick. A Japanese stick with a Korean stick, I guess.
Yeah, and so basically these extra holes here are the mounting holes for the Japanese stick?
Yeah, so you have the mounting plate right here, and then these will align, and that's how you can swap it out.
Got it.
As far as the buttons go, why am I holding this? As far as the buttons go, these are crown buttons. So what they did was, the crown buttons actually have the notch. For example, like this is a Sanwa button, and you have the snap-in tab right here. It's a lot higher, but in a Korean button, in a crown button, it's actually lower. So what they do is they use a rubber washer to mount the Korean button onto a very thin metal panel. So
basically the size of the buttons are different, and so they need something to fill the space?
So a Japanese button, this is a Sanwa button, the mounting diameter is actually 30 millimeters, whereas a crown button or Korean button is actually 28. So on the panel itself, it's actually 30 millimeter diameter.
Right, because it has to fit the bigger button.
To accommodate for both Sanwa and the Korean stick, I guess. So, I mean the Korean buttons. So, so what they do to mount this is they use the rubber washer. So this, you can easily push this out, and you take off the rubber washer. Let me take off the quick disconnects first. Oh, yeah, and the quick disconnects look different too. These are pins, whereas these are like flat, I guess.
Okay.
And so take off the rubber washer, and you just pop out the Korean button. Be careful not to damage your plexiglass because the tab is really low. It's kind of hard. Oh, I don't want to break it.
Yes, please don't break the awesome crown button or my awesome plexi.
So
there
this
we go.
is the Korean button.
I
just popped out the Korean button. Now, as I explained earlier, the tab is much lower. See that? The tab is a lot higher on the Sanwa stick. Button, damn. So those are the two main differences, and this is how you mount it. So you place it on the bottom, and then just kind of holds it in place.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess those are the main features. I mean, the only other thing we haven't mentioned is that you need this this harness to plug into the Sanwa stick. Is that right?
This is the 5-pin harness. You plug in the harness to the Sanwa stick. But as you can see from the Korean stick right here, they actually use individual points of connection. The red is the contact point for like the directions, and the black is the ground. So what they do is they each have a ground point to each micro switch. Whereas in a Sanwa stick, it's the 4 contact points
plus 1 ground.
Plus 1 common ground. This is the common ground.
Okay.
And I believe this micro switch, this PCB is common ground. It should be. And so these grounds are all connected to each other, whereas all the red cables are, connected to each point. So you will have to, I guess, solder the 5 points from the JLF harness. You'll have to solder it onto the PCB in order to get that to function properly. Or you can, I guess, use, you can kind of do it the ghetto way, where you'll need to get, this is the quick disconnect for the Korean stick. This is a 0.187, I believe. And you'll have to get the male end and crimp it on here, and I guess you can plug it in there to make it just quick disconnect rather than having to solder.
Okay.
So that's an option you can do, but The cleaner way would be, to solder it onto the
directly
PCB.
to the PCB and then just leave the harness maybe
Yeah.
somewhere inside the case, and that way you can just easily swap between Korean and
Exactly.
Japanese sticks.
Yeah.
Cool.